absolutely. And in regards to a third park, it's like a lot of people talk about, oh, well, Walt Disney World, give them a fifth park, give them a fifth park. But really, I think that in terms of like growth potential, and Ron, I know you're into the business end of things and stuff. I'm curious to hear your view on this. But like in terms of Walt Disney World, they're kind of like on the business end of it, they're kind of maxed out. Like there's only so many days like a family can take on vacation, whether it be like to get off of work or just, it's already 4 parks. Like it's already a week-long endeavor. Like you had a 5th park, you start to cannibalize yourself a little bit, right?
A little bit.
But Disneyland though, like you only have 2 parks. You could add a 3rd park and get that growth and not cannibalize, right?
Right.
And it would be much more of a growth opportunity. Maybe not physically, but I think financially, I think it would be there. So I don't know. We'll see. I do want to bring this this image up. Look, Ron, I do want to apologize in advance. I'm gonna die on this hill. I am such a proponent of a 3rd park. Not now, but eventually. Yeah. I just love the idea. But the acreage that we see here, this is a comparison of like the Toy Story lot and DCA. And we took out like the Grand Cali because that's technically not a theme park. But acreage wise, they're pretty much the same. If Disney wanted to, they could build a 3rd park there if they wanted to. Will they do it? I don't know. The concept art for Disneyland Forward shows more of a Disney Springs kind of thing. But Ron, what do you think about eventually? Would you support this idea, or do you think Disney should kind of go in a different approach with this property?
Well, it seems to me that they don't want to, like, simply because they could. Like, they could have. It's been talked about forever with Garden Walk and all of the elements and all the. I think there's minutia. There's things that I don't know. I certainly don't know about, because the opportunity that they could have purchased Garden Walk however many years ago, yep, and they chose not to, which wasn't very forward thinking, but it was also, I don't know what their thoughts were. But to your point, I do think some things are inevitable. So when are they going to happen? So will a 3rd park come to Disneyland? I do think eventually it will, but the long game for Disneyland, they already have, like we're just talking about, Disneyland Forward's 30 years down the road. So is that going to coincide with the 3rd gate or something? Like things change. That's what the zoning that's just taken place already. They're already starting to like position themselves in a different, some way, somehow it is strategic. I don't know what that is. It just seems to me that they're definitely dragging their feet when it comes to a 3rd park. But you're right. It's like the illustration clearly shows that space-wise they could do it. The biggest problem is connectivity.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Which is why, we always, I mean, if you look at the map, Garden Walk that's your connectivity. That's your connective tissue between all these things.
Problem.
Yeah.
Yeah. And as Ron said, they didn't jump on that.
That's the weird thing.
It's the strangest thing. Like that's your connective tissue to the 3rd park, and they didn't even budge. They didn't even make the move.
Yeah, it is weird.
Man,
it is weird.
We're probably gonna have to go through 2 or 3 different sales before Disney picks it up for something. I have no idea what they're waiting on, because it's like it makes so much sense. You can do your what is it, Eastern Gateway. Right. Have that connect right over to Garden Walk. Have that connect right over to your property out there in the old strawberry field. It's like this is what this is at. This property is already zoned for a 3rd gate. Like, let's do it. I know they want some different zoning when it comes to like maybe a potential resort or something like that. But I still think, man, 3rd gate, that's where it is.
Well, not only that,
just make them. Yeah, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I'm sorry to cut you off. It boils down to like CEO, right? So if a CEO comes in and says he wants a 3rd gate, then all of a sudden it becomes back on the forefront of the conversation. Or does it? Or is he then briefed on? He would presumably already know this, but is he then briefed, or is there the reason that it hasn't taken place to this point, or the reason that we can't move forward doing that is why? I don't know.
I mean, I know in Imagineering they dedicated the whole room to 3rd gate plans, to just 3rd gate Anaheim plans. That's a whole, like a room's worth of concepts and ideas. And I think yeah, you're right, Ron. I think it is CEO driven. Like, it's just, what are the priorities of the CEO at that point? What are the priorities in Anaheim at that point under that leadership? I think that plays a lot with it. But at the same time, it's kind of like, yeah, it's great to have those ideas. We can go forward with them, but should we maybe be in the here and now? Maybe, and should we flesh out Disneyland itself? So I think that's the tug and pull. It's like, yeah, we can go third gate. We can spend a major investment in Anaheim, or we can add a new attraction, or we can redo Tomorrowland, or it's like, all those kind of things. It's
just do the math. Do the math exactly. on the years, right? So we're gonna have Toontown down for a year or two, a couple years of the e-ticket, which is now put on hold for Avengers Campus. At some point, they're going to address. They still have an image in front of Tomorrowland from 2 years ago, what that's supposed to look like,
right? Yeah,
and there's just all these elements, and that's not even talking about the backlot yet. So there's just so third gate is decades away. It feels like.
Yeah, definitely. I would definitely agree, and that's really like that's kind of like it kind of brings us full circle when it comes to Disneyland Forward, where it's just kind of like it's more so of a seed planting sort of initiative, where it's like if we decide to do this in 2 decades from now, we have the ability to do it. It's not so much of a thing of like we're going to do this next year kind of thing. It's more like just kind of like giving them the opportunity. It's a seed planting